Guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make Ofada sauce, and this Ofada sauce I'm making it for 20 persons, so I'm cooking for 20 people. So I'm going to show you how to make Ofada sauce in large quantity. All right, so I'll be making use of this peppers. I'm making use of shombo, tatache, habanero pepper, and tomato. Yes, I'm going to be adding tomato today. It's not so much, but I have tomato added to this. And I'm also going to make use of onion. Don't worry, these peppers are not hot peppers. They are not chili pepper. This habanero pepper, I'm not going to be using so much of it. Just stay tuned and enjoy the process. All right, for proteins, I'm going to be using beef. Yeah, I'm using beef because I'm cooking for 20 people, and some people don't eat goat's meat because I prefer goat meat, but I'm cooking for people, so I have to be very careful. And I'm also going to be making use of what we call Shaki, roundabouts, a body. So I'm having a variety of meat here. Just stay tuned and enjoy the video. I'm making use of blended onion. I love to blend onion for meat as this because it gives a lot of flavor. You have more of its flavor when it's blended. Seasoning cube, of course. You can use as much seasoning cube as you can tolerate. Don't use too much, please. You don't want people having running stomach, so don't use too much. So I'm just going to go in now, and I'm going to mix this up with my hands because I need it to properly mixed up. So I will do it with my hands. Just make sure that your hands are always clean. You're cooking. You are allowed to make use of your hands, okay? Okay, now I'm going to cover this up. I don't use water to boil my meat at first. I'm going to come back and see how it turns out. Wow, you can see this is a whole lot of water. And for this meal, for fada sauce, you don't need so much water. You don't need so much stock. You just need your stock to be as concentrated as possible. So I am not going to be adding any form of water to this. This is enough water to cook this meat. I just want to season it up with a bit of salt. So after this, you just mix this up properly. Then you just allow your meat to cook. When it's tender enough, you set it aside and you start cooking. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy. If this is your first time, thank you. I am making Ofada sauce, and I'm showing you how to make Ofada sauce for large quantity, not just for personal use, for people. I'm making for 20 persons, and just stay tuned and I'll show you the step-by-step guide. Thank you. Okay, now let's go into cooking properly. I already bleached my oil. I used my other pot to bleach my oil because I take time bleaching my oil. So I bleached it already to avoid the smokes and everything. And I'm cooking outside. I'm not cooking this in my kitchen because it's just so much and my burner is a little bit slow. So I want to cook this outside. And now I'm going to fry my beef. I'm not going to be frying the shaki, the roundabouts, the abodi, no. I'm just going to be frying the beef. Just fry a little bit. You don't want it so dried, but you just want it to have that, get what I mean? So when you're done frying, you just set it aside. So guys, how are you guys doing? How's your day? Merry Christmas to you all. So what is your plan for Christmas? What recipe would you want me to share so you can use for your Christmas cooking? Okay, now we're done frying our meat. And this is the first thing I'm bringing in. It's locust bean. This is the most important ingredient in Ofada. You cannot make Ofada without this. Some people call it Uru, some people call it Mba. You can't make Ofada without it. It's very important. So the reason why I bring it in first is because I want it to induce its flavor into the palm oil. Please, I'm sorry, mind my voice. I'm having pains inside my mouth. So I'm just having difficulty talking generally. So I'm frying this first because I want it to induce its flavor into the palm oil. Then the next thing I bring in is my sliced onion. So I'm going to allow this to fry a little bit, and it's going to give you that lovely flavor that you're looking for. That native flavor, you get it? That village flavor. That's what I'm looking for. So now I am going to come in with just one seasoning cube. You can ignore this. You don't really have to do this. If you have dried fish like catfish, you can decide to bring it in now. I didn't bring mine in now, but you can actually add your dry fish now and fry it together and allow the dry fish release its own flavor into the oil as well. And now remember our peppers and tomatoes. So this is it. I blended it roughly, very rough. Yeah, you need it to be very rough, roughly. And I sieve out all the water. I ensure that I pressed out as much water I can, as I can rather, because you don't need water in this. You don't need the tomato water or all this stuff. You don't need it at all. So you just sieve out the water, drain it out properly, press it out, and you use the what's it called? This is what you have to use. This is not all. I have more. Oops. Well, this is the biggest pot I have available, and I can see now that there's going to be there's going to be a little bit of work here because the spot is not big enough. But I'm going to make use of what I have, and I'm going to make it work. So just stay tuned, and you're going to learn something. So now I'm going to bring in my catfish like I told you. I already deboned these and I washed with salt and water to remove every form of sand and awful taste or something like that. So now I'm going to break this in and I'm not going to allow this to fry properly and simmer down. You're going to see it bubbling and all that. That's what you're looking for and that's what you're going for. Okay, so this is what I was trying to say. As you can see that the palm oil is coming up. Yeah, that is how it's supposed to be. But we're still not done. We're still in the process of making this. So your palm oil is going to be on top of your stew. It's going to look so beautiful. And don't worry about this. You might think, oh, this is too much oil. There's oil everywhere. It's Ofada sauce. You're allowed to play around with oil. Just stay. I'm going to show you something later. So now I'm bringing in my Shaki and my Abodi. Yeah, I'm bringing them in first. It doesn't really matter. You can bring anyone you wish to bring in first. I just want to bring this in first because I want you to sit down there and suck the juice, the flavors and everything. Remember our fried meat. At this point, you bring it in as well. So fada sauce is a meal that is enjoyed by Nigerians. This meal originated from Ogun State. I had to do a little research and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. And it's a very lovely meat. Trust me, it is loving. And it's not so peppery. Don't you use so much pepper? Because most of the time you remove the seeds of the pepper. So it's not so peppering at all. It's actually okay. It can be served with rice. If you have a fada rice, good for you. But for me, I don't like ufada rice. I don't like the taste. I don't like the aroma. I prefer my normal rice. So I always eat this with my normal rice, my regular rice rather. And you can also have this with roasted plantain, fried yam, whatever you want to have it with. It's actually a very loving meat to cook for occasions. So remember my meat stock. I'm bringing it in. See the fat. Man. So I'm not going to bring everything in. It is a bit too much actually. You see? My meat is well concentrated, so my stock is well concentrated. This is the reason why I have not added salt to this meal. If you notice, I was cooking and there was no drop of salt because I always like to bring in my stock first and taste my meal before adjusting if necessary. You can see when I'm stirring this, I'm trying to be very careful. You want to push the what's it called? You want to push the palm oil down and your tomato or your stew up. You don't want it burning. So that's what I'm trying to do. Wow, now you can see this meal is ready. You can see all the oil floating on top. So now I'm going to tell you what to do. You are going to separate some of this oil. Once you're cooking and you notice the oil floating atop and your pot cannot accommodate it, take out some of the oil, but you're not going to throw it away or just save it for use for some other day. You are still going to be using it for this meal. The reason being that if this is your first time of making Ofada sauce, let me give you this now. Because you're making use of so much peppers, different type of peppers, you know tatache, which is the big, the bell peppers, and shombo, cayenne pepper, they have this thing of soaking at oil in a meal. So those peppers are going to soak this oil later, and you are not going to find them anymore. So you'll be wondering where did it go. So at that point, you can go ahead and bring in that extra oil you just took out. You can see I added eggs to this. It is a thing of tradition. It is like a must for you to cook Ofada sauce and eggs. If you do not add eggs to Ofada sauce, I'm sorry, what you're making is stew. I'm sorry, I'm just being sarcastic, but it's compulsory for you to use boiled eggs for Ofada sauce. And you allow these eggs to soak in the sauce. And trust me, you have never had eggs as good as it's going to taste. So this is it now. This meal is ready at this point. So I'm going to add crayfish. This is the last thing I add to my Ofada sauce. After adding crayfish to this, I'll just mix it up. And then I'll allow it to just just cook for about 2 minutes or so. And I'm good to go. So guys, my name still remains Joy, and if you found this video helpful or you really enjoyed this video, please support my brand by liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And when you subscribe, please do well to turn on the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new recipe or I share a recipe with my community. Please join the community. Leave a comment for me because I would love to hear from you. I love to hear what you think about this meal and how you enjoy your Ofada. So this is it for me now. I'm going to be showing you the end product of this. I'm going to be showing you how it turned out. Just stay tuned, guys. Okay, as you can see, so this is it for every what's it called, I gave an eggs and everything for everybody. So bye guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for staying tuned.